Good evening, Facebook and YouTube friends. Give you just a couple of minutes and we will get started. Good evening. While we're waiting for people to pile in, if you could please give me a feel for what areas you're looking to move to. Gives me a feeling or it gives me an idea of where I can cater some of the programs. There are quite a few. I'm located in southeastern Michigan. It's not uncommon for me to get people from all over the country. Um, but I think this evening is going to be most of the people that have signed up previously and couldn't attend or wanted to come back for a second or third view, doing things a little bit differently this evening. So, going to have some additional content here for you. We've got a couple of top picks, a couple of houses that I think are really good for anyone looking to get in with very little money out of pocket. And but more importantly, let me know what areas you're looking at. If you're in southeastern Michigan or Detroit, or right now I'm located in Novi. But whatever areas you're looking in, there's programs everywhere. Hey, Emily, how are you? Monique, thank you. Marlene, Farmington Hills, Novi, Bloomfield Hills. Lydia, I have two houses about to go up in Farmington Hills um, that I consider actually good buys. An out-of-state investor that's going to be selling them. One's actually sitting um, on about 3 acres, and one is sitting on 1.5 acres. So they're gems. If anybody wants a large lot, they're going to be priced pretty well, probably anywhere between 3 to 350 for that size lot and the size house. Definitely some value there. So please reach out to me. Um, all right. Taylor, Westland, Novi, Redford, great. All great areas, lots of money in all of those. Kimberly, looking in Ohio, Indiana, Troy, and Southfield. Kimberly, you're all over. I like it. Plenty of money in Ohio, and Indiana actually has some good products too. Southfield as well, and Troy even has some areas too. So, or some money available right now. Marlene, Southfield, Oak Park, great. Okay. All right. Just a little after 7 o'clock. I always like to be respectful of everybody's time. So I'm just kind of ease into things a little bit. And we should be jumping into what I call the meat and potatoes of it in just probably about 5 minutes. But let's get things going here. I always record my sessions. So if you are looking for these, they are currently being streamed on YouTube and Facebook. So if you're ever looking for the replays, you can find them. Facebook, I think, keeps them for about 30 days. YouTube is indefinite. So if you go back, look at the live events in either one of those platforms, you can see it. Also, tonight is being recorded and will be available for replays. So if you ever come to one of my webinars or sign up for one and can't make it, there'll always be a replay that will be emailed out to the people that signed up that couldn't make it. I get it. I mean, life gets in the way of everyone's plans, so it's hard. But right now, with the weather we've been having lately here in southeastern Michigan, sitting on a webinar on a Wednesday evenings for an hour isn't such a terrible thing in my mind. So, anyways, all right. Monique, great. Westland, Redford, Detroit, Inkster, great. All great areas. Okay. So that's seeing a ton of Detroit people tonight, and that's fine. A lot of programs in Detroit. One of my favorite programs still has some money available. So I'm going to touch on that as well this evening too. But let's get right into things. So uh, right now, my promise is As always, there is no sales pitch here this evening. I am 100% about educational content, paying it forward. Hopefully, we can find a way to get people into home ownership. That is my biggest goal, usually using down payment assistance programs and grants. Most of the people that I work with are able to get in with just a couple $1,000s out of pocket. So tonight we're going to cover how we structure some of these transactions. How do we get people in with less than a couple $1,000s? Okay. What are the qualifications for a lot of these programs? A lot of people think you need to have everything perfect. Well, you don't. Okay. I always tell people you don't need a lot of money and you don't need perfect credit. This webinar and what I do, it's not about perfection. It's about getting people into homes. And we're also going to show you how to access over 2,500 programs across the country. These are grants and down payment assistance programs that help people get in with just a few $1,000s out of pocket. We're also going to show you some of the ways that I look to find and help people find quality homes. Okay. I always stress quality because right now there's no shortage of sellers out there that tend to put a little lipstick on things and think it's a quality home, and nothing could be further from the truth. I'm talking about, when I say quality homes, I'm talking about homes that are predictable, for lack of better words. So, and in addition to that, we're going to show you how you can find free quality experience representation to help you every step of the way. These programs, they're not rocket science, but if you've never done them before, they can be a little tricky, and they tend to trip up customers and agents, and just because they just don't know. So, but I always tell people, follow my steps and I can get you there regardless of credit, regardless of the amount of money that you have. There are always programs out there. And I do sense that there are quite a few programs coming down the pike. Right now, we're at the end of January. This is the time of year where a lot of the programs start to surface. So hopefully we're not going to be going through another government shutdown that might delay things a little bit, but there's always a fair amount of Community Reinvestment Act money that needs to be pushed to the streets this time of year. So it's not uncommon to see people piggyback different types of programs. So with that being said, here is one of my best success stories. I mean, I've been in this business 37 years, and I've had the honor of being the principal in a few different companies, and we did well from a financial standpoint in some of those businesses. But this particular situation is one of the biggest wins I have ever had. Okay, and this was with a lady, Emily. Okay, and I always thank Emily because I learned as much from her as she did from me. So now, Emily was actually she was basically renting from a less than quality landlord that really actually in the end tried to strong arm her into almost buying the house that she was in. But we found this house on Freeland, and the photo here doesn't do it justice. I actually visited Emily over the holidays, and it is Emily's on our webinar tonight. Hi, Emily. So and I got to tell you, it was kind of funny. I pulled up to the house and I didn't even recognize it. I had to verify that the address was right. And then I turned my head, and Emily was actually on her porch laughing because I didn't recognize the house, because she's done such a great job redoing things. And then inside, she really made it her own. So Emily actually qualified for a lot of money. Okay, she qualified for a $25,000 grant from the city of Detroit. And because Emily's credit was in a good spot, we were able to put a gift program on top of that that gave her another 3%. And then a $5,000 grant program to cover her closing costs. And then a $500 grant to pay for her appraisal. So all in, she was over $33,000, and she only needed a couple $100 due at closing. We did collect a $500 deposit after the contract was signed, and I think she paid for a home inspection as well. That might have been $300, but I think for actually $1,000, she was into this. Um, so happy for her. And gosh, Emily, I might ask you, are you shy, or can I have you chime in here? Let me see. Emily? Okay. Well, Emily, if you love to say if you love to say a few words, I always enjoy chatting with you. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on. So, anyways, Emily's house, great quality house. This is what I call a quality, predictable house. Actually, I'm going to take you inside Emily's house a little bit just to kind of give you a feel for what we were looking for. When I say quality, I'm talking about uh, the inside. Carpet was in good shape. There was some pride of ownership. You see the fireplace there. The roof was in good shape. I mean, they were basically doing some type of estate sale. So, anyways, hardwood floors were in good shape. Kitchen was fairly updated. But more importantly, this is one of the few houses that I've been in the city that's never had a lick of water in the basement. Okay. And this is, I mean, look at the carpet in the basement. Not too many people actually do that. There was a bathroom in the basement. But, anyways, really happy for her. Very, I mean, I wish gosh, if I had houses like this, my job would be so much easier because, again, I am all about predictable homes. So, let me get back here. All right. And okay. So let's start going over who is tonight for. Tonight is designed for people who are just tired of renting. I understand it is very stressful out there to be a tenant. A lot of landlords overpromising, not doing repairs. But then I also get that a lot of people have heard empty promises before. Okay. There's a lot of people out there promising the moon and the stars. And I appreciate that. And as much as I love sharing success stories and all the numbers and things that we can do for people, I understand that it really comes down to if we can get the job done. And I'm going to show you a few more success stories of people that were in situations that never thought that they could purchase, and we ended up getting them across the finish line. Now, I will tell you though, there really is no magic. Okay, it's just you do this, you stay in an industry long enough, you tend to learn how to get things done. So there's no magic, and there is some work here, but not a lot more than if you were just doing a regular mortgage, okay, or didn't have to apply for down payment assistance or grant money. Most of the lenders do all of this for you. So you don't really need to lift a finger from anything other than it might take an extra week to get the down payment assistance or grant money. But I always tell people, imagine what if you could qualify for this and you never had to move again? Because chances are, if you're renting, you're probably going to have to move at some point in time. Okay. Whether you outgrow the place that you're in, or what I run into a lot is I see landlords actually selling houses from right underneath people. So, so for that, um, it becomes very hard. So, with that being said, let me ask you a question here. What is holding you back? Is it the money? Do you think it's your credit? So type in the chat box. Give me some feedback there. Credit's a big thing right now. So I am finding that credit is falling off a cliff, and I'm going to give you some solutions to get your credit turned around in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, I want to go over a couple of other success stories. Here's one where Nate purchased this home actually in White Lake Township for $260,000. We actually closed on this one in the fall. He did get a $14,000 forgivable down payment with a solar package. So they haven't installed the solar system yet. So I'm keeping a pulse on it because this is the first time I've ever done this solar package. So very happy for Nate and Chelsea. And Kenneth is another story that's I'm partial to. Kenneth actually called me one day uh, from his barber's chair. His barber was actually telling him about me. Kenneth was actually going through a eviction. Okay. He rented a house with a friend and his friend moved out, but Kenneth's name wasn't on the lease. And the landlord basically told him he had to go. So he was explaining the situation to his barber, and his barber basically said, "You need to call this guy John." So he called me right from the barber chair. And I want to say it was the same day in the afternoon, maybe it was the next day, but we had him approved and out looking at houses right away. He did actually go out with another agent before meeting me, and that other agent was trying to actually almost shoehorn him into purchasing a home uh, on a street that I grew up on, which is on Lamphere and Finkel. So if any of you are familiar with Detroit, that's the Brightmoor area. Okay, that's it gets a little tough in that area. So and the house was looked okay on the outside, but the inside it needed a lot of work. And as much as the price was okay, but I felt like we could do a lot better, and we did. We ended up finding this house that Kenneth is actually in front of right now. He purchased this house for $95,000. He didn't need any money at closing. So he gave me, I think it was a $700 earnest money deposit, and I think it was $300 for a home inspection. That was it. Everything else at closing, which was zero. So for Kenneth, we used a $10,000 down payment assistance program from the state of Michigan. Oh, and by the way, Kenneth was on a fixed income. Okay, he's on Social Security, he's retired. And you know what? Emily, the first person I showed you, Emily was on a fixed income. She's retired as well too. So don't let people tell you that if you're on a fixed income, you can't buy a house. Okay. I do it all the time. So, next person I want to share with you is Shannon. Now, Shannon wasn't on a fixed income. She actually works at the Kroger at 8 Mile in Wyoming. And that that's near and dear to me because I've actually sold houses to three people at that Kroger over the past 12 months. They just hand my name out, and everyone has been able to qualify for some form of down payment assistance programs or grants. Now, Shannon got a zero down grant program that's actually through Flagstar Bank where there's no mortgage insurance, got her payment real low. We actually wanted to find a house real close to where she works because, like a lot of people, she doesn't want to drive anymore. There's a growing population of people that just don't want to deal with the stress of driving, and I get it. So why not? If you can live a couple blocks from where you work, makes life a lot easier. So, anyways, very, very happy for Shannon. Actually, Shannon got in, I think it was $2,000 she needed at closing. And then I think that was it. She did have like a $500 earnest money deposit. So I want to say for $3,000, she was in on this one. Okay. All right. So next thing, my goal this evening. Okay, what I'm hoping you are going to walk away with tonight is confidence. Okay, and hope that you can get things done. I find that there is a lot of false hope out there, and I'm not about that. Okay, I'm here to give you knowledge, and hopefully, you're going to pick up the phone or schedule a clarity call with me. And all I want to do is learn your situation so I can put myself in your shoes and tell you exactly what I do or what you can do, I should say. So whether it's 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, it doesn't really matter to me. I've been doing this for a long time now, and it took me a while. It was probably about 12 years ago where I found this as my true calling. Okay. Before that, I was actually in real estate in 87, spent 20 years in the mortgage world. I owned a title company, went through a lot of financial pains with some of those businesses and some embezzlement that happened. It was just my bookkeeper took advantage of us in the title company. It was a hard fall. And then and the mortgage company, we were doing more rehabilitation loans and things like that. And when Chase closed our line of credit, boom, that company came down. So things that were beyond my control, of course, but just the same, they were really, really hard falls and basically cost my family and I everything financially. Okay. But we had our health, and I got a huge education from all of that. But more importantly, I had to leave the industry. I was physically and mentally and financially bankrupt. So I left the industry for a couple of years and rebuilt. And oddly enough, I went to the automotive finance world, which I didn't think I could ever detest a job, but that one for sure, selling people things in those offices that they don't need. But anyways, rebuilt, got my credit back on track, and qualified to buy a house. So my wife and I were going out and buying a house after losing ours in foreclosure, and I qualified for down payment assistance money. And at the 11th hour, when we were about to close, we found out that the loan officer didn't really put us on that program. And his reason was that we still had a few $1,000s in an old retirement account that my wife had. So we still wanted the house. So we liquidated the money and we went forward with the sale. But at that time, it actually flipped a switch where I decided I'm going to get back into real estate. I'm going to learn these programs inside and out and educate people as much as I possibly can. And here we are, 12 years later. And what started out as me posting ads on Craigslist, if anybody remembers that, I used to post ads there just telling people why rent when you can buy with very little money out of pocket. In addition, from there, we kind of migrated over to Facebook Marketplace, and that did well too. But then about 4 years ago, I discovered these webinars. And now I do these webinars a few times a month. Tonight we've got, a relatively modest audience, maybe 30 people. But when we start running ads, it's not uncommon for me to get, 50 to 100 people on these webinars. And I love paying it forward and teaching people about these programs. So tonight, my biggest goal is to dispel some of the common beliefs out there. Number one, you don't need money. Okay. I'm telling you, we've got that part of it down. We can tap into a lot of down payment assistance programs and grants, and you don't need good or perfect credit. Okay. And like I said earlier, fixed incomes will work. Okay. We will show you how I routinely help people achieve their home buying goals. All I'm asking for tonight, usually I'll ask for you to friend me on Facebook or YouTube. I want to ask you a favor. Okay. Towards the end, I'm going to give you a link to my new website. All I want you to, so basically, I want you to give me a review. Go out to Google and review us. If you got some value this evening, just give me a good solid review. That's all I ask. Last person I'm going to tell you about this evening, here is Tashiana. She qualified for the $25,000 down payment assistance program from Detroit. So she only needed, I think it was $1,500 total out of pocket. Okay, we used $20,000 to cover the down payment and $5,000 to cover her closing costs. Now, there is chatter. This Detroit program is coming back. So if anybody is looking in the city and has challenged credit, this program is very forgiving. It does not require good credit. Last time, I got at least a half a dozen people through with credit scores all the way down to 540. Okay, so you don't need perfect credit for this program. The reason being, it's got a big down payment, so it gets very forgiving that way. Okay, so if you are looking in Detroit, please, it's imperative, reach out to me. This is a first come, first serve basis. And when they release this money, I've got a list of people that I'm registering, which locks the money down for several months so we can get you into a house. Okay? All right. That being said, let's jump right into it. Here are the topics this evening. So we're going to go over first, how do we access these programs? Where do you find them? Okay, so I have actually, we're doing a website right now. It's called Own the Roof. That's really what we're going to. Own the Roof is where the educational content lies. So we also have a page on Own the Roof that has a tool that will allow you to see what programs are out there. And this is where it will take you. Okay, so down payment money is out there. We'll help you find it. All you got to do is see if you're eligible. I'm going to actually, I'll put in the address 16801. This is the address that I grew up on Lamphere, and then 48219. And you can see 21 programs. So there's 21 programs available on this house in Detroit. All you have to do is click the Get Details button and enter your information. You'll be sent a list of all of these programs, but this tool gets a little bit better. If you put in a sale price, that'll work. If you want to buy a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex, suppose you want to be a wannabe landlord, oh my gosh, just click on here. Okay, it takes it down, but there's still 4 programs if you want to own a quadplex in this area. Also, if you put in how many people in your household, if you owned a home within the past 3 years, or your income, the more information you enter, the more accurate the number of programs are. But let's just see what you're going to get. So click the Get Details button, and it's going to take you, well, hey, that's comforting. Invalid request. Got it? Well, let's try it through my website. Okay, and that is, okay, so here's Own the Roof. This is the website we're building out. Everything on here, for the most part, is free right now, okay? Anybody that's been to my webinars, you get all of this for free. You're going to see that there are different fees associated here. All you got to do is send me, hey, John, went to one of your webinars, boom, you're in, okay? Under the resources, you're going to see a lot of things. By the way, I'm usually go over this at the end. I'm going to go over it right now. These are books that I have recently written, okay? One is called No Down Payment, No Problem. The other one is No Credit, No Problem. If you want copies of these, just let me know. Actually, for No Down Payment, No Problem, all you have to do is go Own the Roof /free book, and it'll take you right to where you can get the free book, okay? But you can see these are on Amazon. If you do get it, please just let me know. I'm happy to, if you could give me reviews on that, I certainly appreciate it. My intention, don't go buy this. My intention wasn't to make money off of this. My intention was to get credibility by having it on Amazon. So I am all about paying it forward, okay? So, but anyways, let's get to the app. This is what we were focusing on right now. Just click Get Here for access to all of the programs. And let's try this again. There we go. So now we just enter our information. I'll just put in my personal stuff there, and it's going to send an email. Now, when you get this is what it's going to look like. Basically says, John, you qualify for 21 home buyer assistance programs up to $25,000. And then it lists all the programs that are available. Pretty cool. So I use it all the time. And a lot of times, like you saw with Emily, we can stack these programs up, especially right now with the Community Reinvestment Act money starting to come back into play for most regional lenders, okay? So very, very cool tool. If you have any addresses, jot them down, and when we go to our question and answer period at the very end, I'll be happy to input some addresses and give you some input on that. Okay, let's get back here. So that's how we get access to the 2,500 programs across the country. Now, if you have any friends or family members, uh, there are Detroit area has some great programs. There's a decent amount of money. You go to other areas of the country, it's almost crazy how much money is available. Los Angeles, $161,000 for home buyers. New York, almost it was $300,000 is what I ran into the other day. Miami, Florida, $200,000 to buy a house, and these are huge amounts of money. But when the average home price in some of these areas is $1 million, there's a reason they have to do it. Okay, so so if you have friends or family members across the country, please share with them what we're doing. Okay, next thing. One thing I didn't tap in or didn't talk about, down payment assistance programs, grants. Now, when you're looking at that tool, you want to focus on grant money. Grant money is free money you don't have to pay back. Down payment assistance money goes a couple of different ways. Okay. Down payment assistance money sometimes has to be repaid when you sell the house. Sometimes it's actually forgivable after 3, 4, or 5 years of owning the house. And sometimes you actually make payments on it. So there's 3 ways those down payment assistance programs can go. I'm always going to try to, obviously we want to go for the free money first. And then if we can go for the forgivable money second and use that in conjunction with the grants is usually how it works. And then sometimes if we aren't successful with those 2, then we go with the money that we get to use for free. It's not forgivable. You have to pay it when you sell the house. So you get free use of different programs, money. So, free is always good. So those are how to access those programs. Now, as far as the qualifications are, when it comes to your income, we have to prove income to get approved for these programs, okay? Typically, they want to see a couple of years of income. If you're fixed income's not a big deal, okay? If you fixed income, they don't even need it any more than 30 days you've been receiving a fixed income, great, you're good going forward. If you receive a W-2 from your employers, great. They just want to see a 2-year history. If you were laid off for a year, great. They'll need 3-year history, okay? Now, if you are 1099 or self-employed, they want to see tax returns for 2 years. Now, keep in mind, they do have what they call debt to income ratios. They don't want to see more than 45% of your income going to your house payment and your overall debts. Okay, so if you have an income of, let's say, $4,000 a month, that's 45% would be $1,800. Suppose you have a car payment for $400. That's $1,800 minus $400 takes you to $1,400. You got another $100 going to credit cards. That takes you down to $1,300. If that was it, then $1,300 would be the maximum house payment you could afford. And right now, $1,300 is doing about a $150,000 mortgage. So if we're stacking down payment assistance programs and grants on top of it, boy, we're getting a pretty nice house for some people. Now, for credit, there are several programs available currently that will go down to a 580 credit score. The other programs kind of have tiers. It goes 600, 620, 640, 680. If your scores are above a 680, we stand a better chance of stacking programs, okay? But if your credit score is above 580, we have some options. If it's below 580, then we might have to work on things a little bit. The big things that they look at is they don't like recent late payments or recent collections within the past few months. Now, for any of you that need help, I do a credit repair webinar, okay? You saw with the one of the publications here, no credit, no problem. I spent a lot of time in the mortgage industry working on deals that were a little bit more challenging. So I know all the tools and tricks and tips to get people's credits turned around very quickly. So I do a credit repair webinar on Saturday, and that is how to get your credit score up 60 points in 60 days. In fact, I am going to actually put a link, I think, there we go. I'm putting a link in the chat box right now so people can sign up for that webinar. Okay. And actually, if you go to my website again, sorry to keep bouncing around on you here. Oops. Under resources, you'll see credit webinar. You can just register right there too. Okay. And if you have anybody looking for anybody you want to come to one of my webinars, everything is right here. You can book a call here, zero down webinar, credit repair webinar. For the short term, we're actually just finishing up our courses here too. No down payment. This is a comprehensive guide. It's about a 6-hour course you can take. We just finished up our credit repair courses. Those should be online in the next week or so. And then the next course we're going to do is structuring deals, teaching people how to structure things. How do we piggyback and stack these programs to get people in with very little money out of pocket? So these are all coming soon. Like I said, the no down payment guide, that one's there. The credit repair one should be up in the next week. And then right after that, we're going to jump into the structuring deals. We're also going to be having events that are scheduled. So if you ever just go to our event calendar, you will see upcoming things that we're talking about. Like here, you can see tonight, our credit, our Ask Me Anything, how to buy with little money down. That's what we're talking about tonight. And then you can see Saturday, we have our credit repair webinar scheduled. We are going to add a lot more for February as we start building out this website. Okay. All right. So let's get back to things. Oops. Okay. So as far as those qualifications, credit doesn't need to be perfect. Okay. We are not about perfection. We are about getting the deals done. Everybody's got a story. I've got a story. I know how to build credit because I had to do it. And I will tell you right now, it is 10 times easier to rebuild credit than it was 12 years ago. So many tools and ways to get quick spikes in your score. Now, as far as assets, I know I say it a lot, but you really don't need a lot of money. If you've got a couple $1,000s, we can get things done. Now, as far as the properties do have to be in good habitable condition. Okay, they have to have a functioning kitchen and bathrooms and things like that. Okay, so these loans don't work real well with major fixer-uppers or major renovations. Now, as far as structuring these transactions, I always tell people this is a simple, typical $150,000 scenario. So as you can see, price $150,000, the taxes might be $2,000. Closing costs might be $2,000, homeowners insurance $1,500, title insurance $1,200. So your total cost might be $7,000. Okay. Lately, I think we need to maybe push this number up to $7,500 just to be safe. Okay. Suppose your down payment's $5,000. If you total that up, that's $12,500. If we're getting down payment assistance money of say $10,000, that means you just need $2,500 out of pocket. And the great thing is we can sometimes have a seller pay $1,000. So now you're down to $1,500 out of pocket. So there's a lot of ways for us to get things across the finish line. So now, right now on an average $150,000 house, payments are coming in about $1,300. And I always like to use that because the average 2-bedroom apartment in the Detroit area right now happens to be $1,350. So rents are not going down anytime soon. Actually, I don't think they'll probably ever go down because there is almost a 2 million house shortage in the US right now. So the first time home buyer. So rents aren't coming down anytime soon. And I feel like that first time home buyer bar is going to be even more challenging to get into. Now, Washington is working on things. Okay. The President Trump's right hand man, Scott Bessent, Secretary Bessent, he's a U.S. Treasury Secretary, he basically did an interview back in September saying that there was a housing crisis and that they were not going to be tampering with any of the down payment assistance or grant programs. In fact, they're coming up with ways to add to it, whether it's through a tax credit that's issued on your taxes or possibly one that might be issued at closing, which would be even better. And he did throw out the words national emergency, which I agree. There is an emergency right now. And the reason there is the average first-time home buyer is about to hit 40 years old. That's just mind-boggling. So, 15, 20 years ago, it was like 26 or 27. So people are giving up on home ownership, and it's kind of a sad state. So don't be surprised if there's an executive order coming out, especially with the midterm elections. I don't care where people fall politically. I have a feeling both sides are going to try to buy as many votes as they can by giving out some of this free money. So, all right, next thing, finding homes. How do we find good quality homes? So I know this kind of flies in the face of what conventional wisdom says in real estate, but I always tell people start looking for homes today, even before you're pre-approved. And the reason I say that is I want you to go online, go to my website. Here, I'll put that in there. That's MICitySearch.com. Okay. It's all free. And on this website, you can actually go in and just poke around. I want you to see how your money spends. And the reason I want you to do that is because the more educated you are, the easier it's going to be for you to make a decision. And when that right house, once you're pre-approved and ready to go, and that right house is put in front of you, you're not going to think twice because you're going to know what value is. Now, when it comes to looking at homes, I always tell people, try to focus, because it's tempting to hit the new houses as they come out, but I find the new houses are still getting bid up a little bit. So I always tell people, focus on the older inventory. Focus on the houses that have been on the market 2 to 3 weeks. And we typically want to ask ourselves, why are those houses still on the market? Okay. Were they overpriced? Did they already take an offer and the deal fell apart because somebody figured out they were maybe paying too much? Or, like I said, maybe it was overpriced and now the seller's chasing the market, lowering it. Maybe there's too much deferred maintenances, or the taxes might be too high, or maybe there's assessments. There's a lot of reasons, but that's my job. I'll sniff that stuff out. Okay. But I find if you focus on the homes that have been on the market for a couple of weeks, the sellers are going to be more flexible. And that means more negotiable, and means they might help pay some of your closing costs if need be. Okay. Now, as you're looking through all the houses, I want you to put on more of your investigative hat. And I want you to start looking at things that, like the roof. Okay. When I go out and show houses, okay, I am not looking at the lipstick at all. First thing I'm looking at is the roof. Does that roof have some life in it? Does the house look straight? Is the brick straight? When I walk in the house, are the floors level? What do the ceilings look like? Any leaks or stains? What are the floors like? What's the basement like? So as you're looking at photos of houses, I want you to focus on those things. What is the roof like? Look at the ceilings in the bedrooms and the kitchen and everywhere. Look at the floors and take a close look at the basement. See if there's any evidence of water against the walls, water stains, things like that. Okay. So good things to know. It helps weed out some of the houses, and it helps you look past some of the altered images. AI is producing some pretty impressive images and is hiding a lot. So now, next thing, how do we connect you with good, experienced help? Okay. And in my opinion, experience is what gets the job done. Okay. Don't let somebody be your learning partner when it comes to these down payment assistance programs or grants. Okay. Like I said, they're not rocket science, but there's a lot of money involved. And we want to make sure that you get every single program that's available. So most people tend to race out and get a pre-approval first. And I appreciate that, but I want you to know most lenders don't tell you about these programs because they don't do all of the programs. So that's why I like to learn your situation, put myself in your shoes, and then go, oh, okay. Hey, based on your situation, I think we need to go to Flagstar Bank or Guild Mortgage or Citizens Bank or Huntington. Each one has different programs available and different criteria for buyers. And I happen to know all of those and have those at my fingertips, where once I know your situation, I can tell you, okay, this is the one we can plug in today. Or if we move things a little bit here or massage things there, we can get in this one tomorrow. Okay. So I'm all about clarity, transparency, and giving you all the options so you can make the best decision for you and your family. Okay. So I always tell people, I have no problem telling you what lenders are doing what, but please let me make that introduction for you. And the reason I say that is, without fail, a couple of times a month, I'll have someone that goes, John, I went to your webinar and then I went to ABC Bank. And, some of these banks have a couple thousand loan officers. So if something happens and you're not getting return phone calls or things aren't going as swiftly as you want or think they should, I can't jump into that conversation if I don't know the loan officer. Okay. So let me make that introduction for you to the different lenders and share your story. That way, if I'm in that line of communication, I can hold them accountable and go, hey, why aren't you returning John's phone calls? I don't understand. That's, there's a lot of reasons. So if I know them, I can hold them accountable. And chances are I already know their managers. So I've got a direct link and I can have high level conversations with them. It's hard for me to have a high level conversation with a loan officer that I don't know. They don't know me. They don't know my background. Okay. Most of the people that I will refer you to know it. So whenever there is a hiccup, and there's always hiccups, there's always bumps in the road. That's just life. But if you hook your wagon to a train that's been down the road before and knows how to get deals across the finish line, it's not uncommon for me to just call them up. What's the problem? All right, let's hash this out. Let's do this. Or who knows, we may have to pivot. And that brings up another point. Now, when I connect people with programs, I like to have a few different options. Okay. I like to have a plan A and I want to have a plan B and hopefully a plan C. And the reason I say that is, suppose one program runs out of money. You want to have a plan B. Okay. I don't know how you are. I've heard no many times in my life. And the older I get, I kind of respect it. Okay. I don't agree with it. I'm not a no person. I'm just a not right now person. Can't do it today, but this is what we need to do it tomorrow. Okay. I like coming up with the solutions better than the word no. But with that being said, I want a backup plan. To get me excited for a move, that's one thing. If I get my family excited for a move and don't move, I don't like that. That's not cool. Okay, so last thing I want to do is get you and your family excited for a move and not have it work out. So that's why we want to have a few different plans in place. Make sense? Hope so. Now, obviously, my name is John Collins. I'm a realtor. I'm here. I want to be that point of contact. I want to help you find that quality house and work for you. Okay. I'm going to help you identify all the programs. I'm going to find the best quality homes available for you, show you how to structure the program so we get in with the most amount of money. negotiate the deal, and create the most favorable contract for you and your family. And I'm obviously going to help all the way through to final mortgage approval. And most importantly, keep your numbers in alignment. Okay. Life has the way of throwing us curveballs. Okay. But if you ever get numbers from me, okay, and I get people all the time that go, you know what, John, I've got $1,000. That's it. Okay, I can work with that. Thank you for sharing that. I'll work with you on that. Or I've got 1,500. Okay. So if it comes down to it and you need 2,000 or 2,500 and it's a mistake by my loan officer or myself, we're gonna man up. Okay. There are ways to get things across the finish line that I didn't even mention. There's all kinds of bank credits that we can work, but just the same, every now and then, doesn't happen very often. I think it happened to me once last year where I had to step up and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to take X amount off the table from my whatever, my fees or commissions or however I'm compensated for that particular transaction. And we just do it. Okay. It's not about the money. It's about getting people into homes. It's about, for me, it's all about the units. I gave up chasing money 10, 12 years ago when I got into this. For me, I get more satisfaction getting somebody across the finish line than the paychecks, oddly enough. So I also find if you just do the right thing and keep moving forward, you'd be surprised how just good things happen. It's just that he rewards us in different ways. So that's it for there. So anyways, let's move on here. Here are my top picks. Oh, okay. These are two picks right now. Number one, programs. There is a Tobias Harris program initiative in the city of Detroit giving up to $75,000 right now. Okay. So if you were buying in these zip codes, 48, 214, 205, 206, 208, 228, 207, 227, 224, or 221, up to $75,000 available. These are some nice zip codes. English Village, Grandmont subdivision, Indian Village. Don't know if, gosh, I can't imagine. Indian Village is pretty expensive in that area, in my opinion. But a lot of areas there. Okay. So reach out to me. Happy to get you in touch with the Tobias Harris program. Not much money left on that one. But here are my top two picks for houses right now. Okay. Here's one, Warren, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, actually has an attached garage, ranch, good sized lot on this one, hardwood floors throughout, and actually really good sized bedrooms too. And bedroom, and furnace room, and you can get a glimpse at how big that backyard is. Now, this house, somebody can get into with just $1,500 out of pocket. And this one is only going to require a 600 credit score. So if your credit score is above 600, bam, you can get into that one. Here's another one with a 600 credit score. This one's in Farmington Hills. You've got $2,000, you can get into this one. And this one actually has some nice updates. Kitchen was redone. So anybody looking for something in Farmington Hills, not far from downtown Farmington Hills, good quality product here. So great. And let's go. All right. Now, where do we go from here? Sue, give me a call. Happy to give you some details on that Farmington house. So let me start getting some questions here. In the meantime, here is, just saw this one. Here's a link to my book. If you're looking for a copy of my free book, you can get that right there. And let me go to the book a call here. Oops. Here's another link. There's the free book. And here is where you can book a free call with me. Okay. Now, this I'm going to put this up here a couple of times. This is my favor I need from you. This is the review page on Google. If you could give me a review, say, hey, went to John's webinar, 100% educational content, and then just tell me what you thought of things. I hope I answered a lot of your questions, but right now I'm actually going to spend some time going through a lot of your questions. All right. So if you have questions, please hit them up in the chat box. Kimberly, hey, if you are looking for something in Ohio and Indiana, please reach out to me. I want to show you how to use that tool to find the programs in what areas of Indiana and Ohio you are looking for, because it's a little bit different when we start going out of state. Okay. Thomas, Trenton, please use the tool for Trenton. Sue, wishing I could move to Florida too right now. That's funny. Armando, hey, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Okay, Thomas, how do we put our rent history to help our credit score move up? Oh, great question. There are tools available. I think Experian Boost actually has a tool. And if you go out and search online, there are tools that you can pay a fee and they will get it added to your credit. Okay. So what they'll ask for are your bank statements showing that the rent came out of your accounts. Okay. Or there needs to be some lender participate, or excuse me, landlord participation to get there. All right. All right. Yes. Oh, yeah. Janika, thanks for the congratulations to Emily. Yeah. Emily, you're a popular lady. You always are. You are blessed. That's sure. I'm blessed to have you in my life. That's for sure. It was such a, again, I can't thank you enough. You know, when I first met Emily, she was the first person in the state of Michigan to get approved on a special program. And so her patience and persistence, she is not a lady to be denied. So I learned a lot from her that way. Oh, that's okay, Emily. You know what? Next time I'll try to do a call with you, and maybe we'll teach you how to use Zoom a little bit. Armando, yeah, know your situation. You know, Armando, I can't say I disagree with you on that one. The house needs a lot of work. So, and I think you wanted to be on the move to the west side too. So now, Sue put down that's credit. Well, I think right now, all of the above, credit and money, credit, you know, I'm finding right now, credit in this country is falling off a cliff. Okay. Every time my wife and I go to the grocery store, we look at each other and, you know, we thank God that our kids are raised right now, because what we spend at the grocery store today is equivalent to what I used to spend raising 4 kids. So a family of 6. So I don't know how families are doing it now. And, you know, so it's not easy. So as a result, I am seeing credit fall off a cliff. Now, the credit repair webinars that I do go over how to get your scores up 60 points in 60 days. I will have my credit repair class, which is probably for 16. It's probably about a 4 to 6 hour class, all online. That will be up, and that will be free for anyone that went to some of my webinars. So please reach out to me. Some great tools, and it tells you exactly how to get your rent added to your credit reports on those. Okay. But there are about 3 or 4 companies that are out there that you can get your rent put on your credit report. Debt to income ratios. Okay. So love talking about things like that. So iPhone. So please schedule a call with me. Love to learn your debt to income ratios. Sometimes they're not as bad as you think they are. I do have a lot of lenders that look at things in more black and white. I'm more of a shades of gray person. So I'm going to tell you what's the best way to massage those debt to income ratios, whether it's restructuring loans or paying down some things or things like that. But everyone's situation is a little bit different. So please schedule a call. And Emily, mortgage is cheaper than rent. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Let's see here. Let me get that again. Zenobia, okay, so you got a lot of bills holding you back. Schedule a call with me. I'm happy to learn your situation, and we can try to map out a plan for you. Got it. You're on a fixed income. Now, for people that are on fixed incomes, boy, this Tobias Harris $75,000 program is a game changer for people on fixed incomes. So think of it this way. Right now, if you spend up to, I think it was 187,000, okay, that gets you the whole 75,000. So imagine this, 187,000 minus 75,000, what's that, 100 and, I don't know, just say 115,000. That's the equivalent of like a $900 mortgage payment, maybe $1,000 mortgage payment, a heck of a lot cheaper than renting, okay? Downside with that program, you got to pay it back when you sell the house, but you're going to get a lot more house too, okay? Great. Oh, Gun, great. So, hey, lots of places. I'm in Detroit all the time. So if you've got, you want some information with regards to the programs, especially that 25,000, that $25,000 program can be stacked with other programs very easily. So please schedule a call so I can get you on my list, because once that program is announced, I'm going to get everyone registered that I have. Oh, thank you, Emily. I appreciate the kind words. Good old Craigslist. Yeah, Craigslist is kind of shady now, Lydia. I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but that's really where I started out. That was actually before Marketplace was even a thing. Yep, Armando, looking forward to helping you, pal. Oh, Lydia, 39. Hey, 39 years. Hey, it's never too late. So, I had to start over. My wife and I bought the house. It would be about 10 years ago, I want to say. So I would have been 52. So it wasn't a first time home buyer, but I was certainly starting over at that point. So, um, and Sue, please schedule that call with me. I'd love to share the two in Farmington that I've got coming up. One is uh, there's the one that I shared. That's, the one for $2,000. Heck, we can get you into that one right away. I've got two other ones that are coming to the market. One's on 1.5 acres and one's on 3.5 acres. Both houses need some work, but they are going to be good deals for someone. And they're close to downtown Farmington, oddly enough. Good. What's the free book post that way? All right. And then one more thing. Good question, Sue. Does the same apply for manufactured homes? Now, it doesn't. It depends. Manufactured homes that you own the land, some of these programs can be used for. Okay. The programs that, if the manufactured home is in a manufactured home community where you're renting the lot or paying lot rent, you can't use it. Those are not considered real estate. When you take a house and you're renting the lot, that's considered personal property, just like a car almost. So none of these programs apply for that. And I would encourage you to schedule a call, because the manufactured home communities where you're renting in or renting the lot, those though they are going through a lot of transition right now, and I am seeing lot rents explode, prices of water bills explode. So I'm finding the manufactured home communities in Michigan are kind of turning into a trap for some people. So before you jump into that pond, let me at least shed some light on things so you're going in with your eyes wide open. Hey, Rihanna, how are you? Oh, nice. You know, Rihanna, it becomes more challenging when you're off work. Once you're back, all good. Okay. So you can actually structure things and get the ball rolling, but we're not going to be able to close on something till you're actually back to work. Okay. Unless you have a letter from your employer that says your job is 100% guaranteed, waiting for you 40 hours a week, and this is the rate. Okay. If we can get a letter like that from your HR department, then we might be good. How long after filing bankruptcy do you have to wait to purchase a home? Good question. Now, if it's a Chapter 7, it's 2 years. If it's a Chapter 8, excuse me, Chapter 13, I should say, I was looking at Section 8. So Chapter 7, 2 years, Chapter 13, as long as you have 12 months payments made on time to the trustee, you can actually purchase a home while you are in a Chapter 13. Oh, Rihanna. Okay, so you've got a Section 8. Okay, so if you have, we could actually add that to your income. So I know we spoke, Rihanna, and I apologize. I can't really recall your situation right now, but please schedule a call with me. Happy to work through what we can do if you need to do something right now. Okay. Good, Sue. Oh, you need two bathrooms? Got it. I do have the two coming up in Farmington Hills on the acreage. Those both have two bathrooms. Kind of hard to find two bathrooms for under a couple 100,000 in Farmington right now. Heck, it's hard to find 200 two bathrooms under 200 anywhere, oddly enough. But patience and persistence, that's the key to life in my mind. So can you qualify with a bankruptcy? So if you were in a Chapter 13 and made the payments for 12 months, yes. If the bankruptcy is discharged, if you're not discharged, then you got to wait 2 years. Okay. Lydia, lot rent, right? Yeah. So if you are lot rent, there's really not much we can do to tap into any down payment assistance programs. And the only reason is because it's not a fixed on a piece of property. Okay. Yes, it's in a community. Okay. So yeah, so don't have any options for those. And I would tell you what's going on in the manufactured home community. There's a lot of publicly traded companies coming in and gobbling up some of the mom and pop communities, and they are driving those price lot rents up. So you may get in there cheap today, but I'm seeing lot rents 6, 7, 8. I saw one for $900 a month last month. So that is a crazy amount just for lot rent, not even including the actual manufactured home. Okay, Gunn. Thank you for attending. Yes. Okay. Good, Sue. Look forward to the call. You are welcome, Rihanna. And yeah, the lot rents are terrible. Oh, so glad you didn't go with that one, Lydia. All right. Any other questions? Oh, here, I'm going to ask one more time. If you could, please copy this link. This is the link to leave a review for me. If you could please go out and give me a little love on Google, just click this link. It's going to take you right to a Google review page. It's just going to be a little pop-up. Please give me 5 stars and put in your review. Let people know that I am here just to share educational content And then if you need help and want to reach out, great. Love to help people. Thank you, Lydia. All right. I see we still got some people hanging on here. So any other questions before we call it a night? All right. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all very much for attending. And it really means a lot to me. Love, thank you for all your questions. Special thanks, Emily. Can't thank you enough. Um, so hope our paths cross again real soon. If you ever have any questions, I mean, I have worn a lot of hats in real estate. So whether it's a um, real estate question, mortgage question, title question, there's very few situations that I haven't run into. Um, Good. Pamela needs a 3 bedroom. Hey, Pamela, whereabouts are you looking? Give me a city. I'll let you know if I've got anything top of mind. Thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate you leaving a review. Detroit West Side. Okay. Um, got it. So let me know, are there any particular, well, you know what? Pamela, schedule a call with me. Here, you know what? I didn't give this out. Here's my cell phone number, everyone, 248-252-7283. Boom. That is the best number to reach me at. Okay. I spend a lot of time on the phone. I am a self-professed phone jockey. So if I am not available, please don't be shy. Leave a message, or better yet, text me. I have a lot of calls, and I get a lot of people. Life gets in the way of everyone's plans. I totally get that. So if I get calls that cancel, I'll call right away. Okay. I would rather, I don't like having to return a bunch of phone calls at the end of the day. So I tend to return calls as quickly as they come in. Okay. So, oh, thanks, Gunn. Appreciate it. Good. And Pamela, please reach out to me. You've got that number. I hope you call me. Um, I will be available. I'm just going to wind down here in a few minutes and then get my recording up. So if you need a call in the next, I'll be available for probably the next 30 minutes. If you wanted to reach me, a ranch style. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Appreciate it. Oh, phone number again, 248-252-7283. Okay. So, all right. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate your time on this cold, wintry day in Michigan. And stay warm, everyone. And I hope our paths cross again soon. Thanks again. Have a good night, everyone. Oh, so sorry, Facebook friends. Let's see here. Detroit, great, Micaiah. Yes, there are plenty, plenty of programs available in Massachusetts. So let me give you the link here. let's. You know what I'm going to do? Let me give you my cell phone number. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to. When it comes to Massachusetts, it's a little bit unique. So I want to make sure that we connect you with all of the programs that are out there. You're free to go to my website and you're going to see you can use all the tools there. That's Own the Roof. So owntheroof.com, and you will see all the programs that are currently out there. Okay. Just go to the search button. Okay. All right. So I apologize, Facebook and YouTube friends. Didn't missed a few of those questions there, so I apologize. So anyways, if there's no other questions, I'm going to be calling it a night. Hope our paths cross again soon. Have a good night.